What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Welcome to the RNEWS Evening Show. And let's just jump into it. From r/news. Teen who shared photo of packed high school hallway says she's receiving threats. Instead of being mad at the system that isn't providing direction, capacity, or capability to succeed in first world country, instead of being upset at the lack of leadership during a pandemic, instead of being upset at our economy and lifestyle, forcing families even with dual incomes to struggle with where they will put their children when they are at work during a pandemic, instead of being upset at companies paying crap wages, rather we get upset at people on unemployment getting a penance. We attack a child, we attack each other, we attack low-wage, frontline workers, we attack science, we attack facts. Edit. Pittance should be there instead of penance. Turns out Juvenile had it slightly wrong. People don't need basic necessities and entertainment to be distracted from their failing leadership. They just need outrage and another target. I remember talking with some Americans who voted back in 2016. And a fair few of them voted for Trump purely because they thought it would be a good joke and he would never win, or they just wanted to see the shit show he would put on if elected. I still don't get that mindset. I really don't get how people can take democracy, their own basic right to governance, for granted that it becomes a joke to them. First world country. People from the US aren't even allowed to enter first world countries. Yo, America, what the frick? Yo, we don't know either. You're watching the Reddit news show. From r/politics. Lawmakers demand removal of Postmaster General DeJoy over nefarious efforts to destroy the Postal Service and a Trump re-election. There needs to be consequences for this. If there were actual consequences for anything done by this administration, we'd all be living in a very different country. Just like consequences of the head of education offering taxpayer-funded vouchers to her private school, the head of the EPA destroying regulations to protect the environment, the Attorney General stepping to protect the President. There needs to be consequences, but there likely won't be. The consequences have to come from the people. There is no other way. The checks and balances have failed. The military and police won't move. The justice system is part of the problem. We the people have to step up. The last line of defense. Hard to do that when y'all are dismissing direct action as looters and rioters. Dude managed to end decades of first-class mail flow in 2 weeks. The checks have stopped in some areas. The only things moving in my city are the packages right now. The PO in my area went from forcing OT up to 60 to 80 hours a week to 40 hours only. DeJoy didn't wait to observe anything. He knew what he wanted to do, and he did it. The only things moving in my city are the packages right now. I've had a package, priority mail, out for delivery for almost 2 weeks now. You're watching the Reddit news show. From r/World News. Exit poll declares improbable 79.7% victory for dictator Lukashenko, as Belarus prepares for mass protests. Independent polling is illegal in Belarus, so it's unclear quite how vulnerable Europe's last dictator has become. For those wondering where the exit polls come from, it's all dictator bullcrap. None of these exit poll or official election numbers are real. One from Moscow might be real. They polled people who left the embassy. According to that poll, about 6% voted for Lukashenko. Haha, real or not, that's an interesting number. I think Kremlin wants Lukashenko to win, but lose a lot of legitimacy. It's just their usual strategy of sowing division. If the little green men show up to handle the protests, then we'll know. This is the same guy who said you can defeat COVID by drinking lots of vodka and chilling in a sauna, right? Edit. Crap sure has hit the fan. This is the link which states the same. Can't go wrong with some vodka and sauna. Lol. www.businessinsider.com. Yeah, and he caught COVID as well. Well, did he die from COVID? I don't think so. You know what to do now. Oh yeah, he died. Surprising win at the election though. Maybe vodka and sauna are a great way to medically win an election. My future looks bright. A little blurry, but bright just the same. You're watching the Reddit news show. From r/news. Assaulting a worker who's enforcing masks is now a felony under a new Illinois law. And in May, security footage showed that a man shopping at a Los Angeles Target broke the arm of a Target employee in an argument over masks. This needs to be the law everywhere. Hourly store workers shouldn't have to serve as some kind of security force. I mean, this is good, but I thought assault was already a felony. Wear a mask, don't be a dick. Edit. Apparently, I was wrong. At least in EEL, assault can be a misdemeanor. Either way, this is a good law. Felony assault is pretty serious. The definition of assault in most places has expanded to include threatening behavior, basically anything that makes a person fear for their safety, or causes a reasonable apprehension of bodily harm. Yelling at someone, threatening to beat the dog shit out of them is an example of misdemeanor assault. Making this a felony means they're treating it like the assailant actually did or intended to cause physical harm, which is true and correct. You're watching the Reddit news show. From r/World News. Saudi Crown Prince sent hit squad to Canada, exiled spy chief alleges. Our OK got it, so next time, send everyone on diplomatic passports. I think they thought about that and figured it may be too suspicious, though they got screwed anyway. They were intercepted at Toronto's Pearson International Airport, where they tried to avert the detection of Canadian border security by entering through separate kiosks. Of all airports I've flown into, quite a few, the border agents at YYZ were the most terrifying. Even as a UK national arriving on a visa, I've never had so many questions thrown at me. Genuinely thought I was about to be told to get on the next plane back home. Glad it's not just for show. I feel a bit less bitter now. Genuinely impressed. Good effort. Also frick MBS. As a Canadian, coming home is always a bit antsy for me. Our guys at the border are not nice at all. Even to us. Always look super grim, don't answer the usual niceties and zero humor. Very curt. As long as they're good at what they do, I guess. Wow, separate kiosks. What kind of amateur hour crap is this? Yeah, you'd think they take separate flights spaced out a bit like assassins usually do. You're watching the Reddit news show. From r/News. U.S. Postal Service chief warns of dire finances, adopts manager hiring freeze. Congress approved the money for the USPS in the last COVID-19 bill that passed months ago. The Treasury is just refusing to approve the money transfer to the USPS. The notion that dire finances is pure bullcrap. The Republicans are trying to sabotage the USPS. Trump administration considers leveraging emergency coronavirus loan to force Postal Service changes. They're sabotaging it so that the Republicans can say the USPS sucks and won't be sufficient for mail-in voting. This way they can delay the election. Crap is crazy. Republicans are freaking trash. How is that possible? If the bill is passed they should get the money. How can the exec branch hold this up? You know, besides that laws have no more meaning, because Senate Republicans are corrupt, with a dash of treason. Former letter carrier here. A lot of comments have mentioned this, but to say my piece, the USPS is strangled by the Postal Accountability Act of 2006, in which the PO, as we call it, was made responsible for prepaying retirement benefits to the tune of $6 billion per year. No such act has affected any other corporation in the country. And a friendly reminder that the USPS is a not-for-profit corporation that receives no tax dollars whatsoever. 100% of revenue is made from the sale of postage, postal supplies, money orders and philatelic merch. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like, and if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show and I'll see you tomorrow.